Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. A teenager is rescued in Westborough Monday after falling through an icy pond. Crews responded to find a 19-year-old yelling for help after he and a friend had been on the ice. Tonight we're hearing from the woman who first found the teens and called 911. Our Cam Jandro is live at Mill Pond in Westborough tonight. He joins us now with the details. Cam?
Anna, it was a race against time for the Westborough Fire Department as they attempted and succeeded in rescuing a 19-year-old who fell through the ice here at Mill Pond. If you have a look behind me, you can see the ice, and it's a lot thicker here closer to the shore, but it gets thinner and thinner as you get out. There's actually an island out there where they were ice skating and playing hockey, but things could have been a lot worse today.
Ellen Google was walking her dog along Westborough's Mill Pond when she heard something wrong on the ice.
Help, help. And I saw a guy skating back and forth, and clearly his buddy, or I don't know, what buddy had gone in. And that's when I whipped out the phone and called 911.
The cry for help was coming from a 19-year-old who had fallen through the ice. Google says she left her dog behind and ran towards the teens.
He didn't hear me, but he goes, call 911. They finally realized how much trouble it was, and I said, they're on their way, they're on their way. So, and I watched the whole thing unfold.
The Westborough Fire Department says the call came in just after 3 p.m. Monday afternoon. Chief Patrick Purcell says the teenagers were ice skating more than 2,000 feet from shore.
That's an exceptionally long distance to go out and get someone. So we had to actually marry 3 different sets of life safety rope together and then use the manpower that was here to pull.
The teen was in the water for more than 10 minutes and facing the early stages of hypothermia. Purcell described the rescue as a challenging one.
We have a dive rescue truck that's set up with cold water immersion suits that protect the firefighters. We take every precaution that we can to make sure our personnel is safe, and at the same time that we're serving the public the best that we can.
Firefighters were able to safely make the rescue. Google, who lives nearby, says she herself has skated on Mill Pond, but admits it is still too early in the year.
But I generally don't go out skating until I see the ice fishermen, and I haven't seen them yet this year.
Now, the teen was taken to a local hospital. He's said to be in serious but stable condition. The Westborough Fire Department says with the fluctuating temperatures, it's impossible to know whether or not the ice is actually safe to be on. So they say if you're going to go out on any body of water to ice skate or fish, take the proper precautions. Live in Westborough tonight, I'm Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
A new federal program aims to help combat drug addiction by helping healthcare clinicians pay for their education, and it's being put into action at centers in the Worcester area. The Substance Use Disorder Loan Forgiveness Program offers up to $75,000 in loan repayment in exchange for 3 years of work treating drug addiction in an underserved area. Spectrum Health Systems Treatment Centers in Worcester is one of the organizations offering the incentives to new and current employees. According to Worcester Police, there were 1,108 overdoses in 2018, which is up from last year. Vice President of Clinical Services Lisa Blanchard says the benefit will help them recruit and keep the positions they need.
Work. So there's not a lot of people kind of beating down our doors to do this really challenging work, but it's also really rewarding. But you don't really know that until you start working in the field. So anything that we can do to encourage people to go into and stay in this field and work in addiction treatment, I think is going to be extremely helpful.
Blanchard says the period to apply for this program ends February 21st. A Nicholls College political science professor is weighing in on how the partial government shutdown is affecting people locally. Now it's in its 4th week. She says there are other things people can do to help. Professor Erica Smith says the government shutdown is impacting the community in many ways. Of the 800,000 workers who are furloughed or working without pay, about 7,000 to 8,000 live here in Massachusetts. She says there are things people can do to help, including donating to local food banks, especially ones impacted by cuts to USDA funding.
The furloughed workers and workers going without pay are seeking resources at these food banks. They're seeing an increase in demand. So while that increase in demand is happening, these food banks and pantries are seeing fewer resources. So you can go out today, go to Webster, go to Dudley, go to Worcester, and donate to your local food bank. Make an impact in your local community now.
Smith says people can also make a call or write a note to members of Congress. She says sharing your story or experience will have an impact. Several central Massachusetts businesses are stepping up to help people impacted by this government shutdown. Whether it's a temporary job or clean clothes on their back, more places are stepping up to help across Worcester County. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the details.
As the partial government shutdown reaches day 24, the owner of Sud City Laundromat in Millbury doesn't want impacted federal workers to worry about doing their laundry.
I feel bad for the people. They have to put food on their table. They have to pay their rent, their mortgage.
David Delaney is offering the use of his facility for free.
I want to open up my facility and pay it forward, and I don't even care about the money because it has nothing to do with money. It's about respect. It's about giving back.
It's the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, and the laundromat isn't the only business in central Massachusetts offering to help. Jake Messier is the CEO of Herd Strategy and Storytelling. He's willing to find projects for out-of-work federal employees who specialize in public affairs.
Let's carve out a little bit of budget and see if we can help get some people a car payment or a daycare or utility bills and having them work in their field.
Messier is a veteran and has experienced a government shutdown before. Although he was never affected, he knows many who are, and people are already reaching out for help.
Just even a little project, a couple days, just to get them some cash quickly so that they can stay afloat.
Both businesses hope others follow their lead until the shutdown is over.
If we can't be a community and give back to the people that work for us, then who are we?
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
President Trump is defending himself after 2 reports raised questions about his behavior with Russia. This comes with no end in sight for the partial government shutdown. The New York Times and Washington Post say the president's decision to fire former FBI Director James Comey triggered a counterintelligence investigation. There are concerns the president was working to advance Russia's interests. Here's what he had to say before leaving Washington this morning.
Not only did I never work for Russia, I think it's a disgrace that you even asked that question, because it's a whole big fat hoax. It's just a hoax. I have done a great service for our country when I fired James Comey, because he was a bad cop and he was a dirty cop, and he lied. He really lied.
Comey oversaw the FBI's investigation into the Hillary Clinton email scandal. As for the shutdown, President Trump is blaming Democrats for not making a deal to fund his wall and to secure the southern border. There's seemingly no deal in sight to end the stalemate. A Whitensville man is raising the question of what protections seniors have in private group housing. According to the Telegram, 73-year-old Joseph Crowley is suing the owners of the Whitensville retirement home for $1 million. He claims they violated his civil rights by illegally pressuring him to leave the home. His lawyers say the case highlights the significance of their Fair Housing Act. Crowley is partially paralyzed from a stroke. The retirement home is denying the allegations. Well, it's been 9 years since a devastating earthquake hit Haiti, killing hundreds of thousands of people, including Central Mass native Brittany Gangle. Over the years, her family has worked hard to carry out her last wish. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
Saturday is one of those days that really reminded me that how much I truly do miss my daughter.
Saturday marked 9 years since an earthquake in Haiti killed 300,000 people, including Rutland's Brittany Gangle.
As her mom, I really miss sitting beside her and laughing with her. At the end of the day, I don't have Brittany here with me, and it's really a day that I really do mourn her.
It's very tough, but we like to celebrate Brittany, so it's kind of a positive, something so negative turned into a positive.
Brittany's last text to her mother was on the day of the earthquake. She spoke of how much she loved the people of Haiti and wanted to start an orphanage there. 9 years later, 66 children live in Britt's home.
Every year we have new buildings being created. We have more people raising awareness. It's just a great thing that they're doing.
Starting Monday, the organization is asking people to go blue for Britt to celebrate her 29th birthday. Brittany's best friend, Kate McCarthy, says it's an event Britt would have loved.
We always celebrated her birthday. I can always remember some family parties. She has such a huge family. So I would always, invite myself over for that. So we encourage a lot of schools, businesses, everyone in the area to dress in blue, send us their photos. We make it a week-long thing because she would make her birthday a week-long thing.
Cheryl Ann Gangle says each anniversary is difficult, but she knows how happy Brittany would be to see the mark she continues to leave on the world.
I think she would love it. I really do, because she was all about helping people, bringing people together. For her to see all of this coming together, I really do. And I know we say it, she would think it was fabulous.
Brittany's 29th birthday is on January 21st. Be Like Brit encourages everyone to wear blue to spread awareness for Haiti. At Be Like Brit, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
It's Math Madness at Worcester State University as the women's basketball team takes on Nicholls College. The stands were packed with Worcester elementary students. They were doing much more than just watching the game. They were also using their math skills. It's all part of the 11th annual Math Madness game. Head coach Karen Tesmer says it gives students a chance to learn and see a college campus.
The teachers love it because it's a way they can connect kids with something they like, and so math doesn't become such a negative, tough thing. They can relate it to sports and statistics as well as math problems.
Students had math packets with various questions and difficulty based on their grade level they had to complete throughout the game. We'll have highlights of the game in sports.